Welcome viewers. This is CA Niranjan O from Ledger Vision. I am here explaining the output uh, of Ledger Scrutiny reports from Ledger Vision. This is the screen of outputs. You can see there are left hand side you can see the details of grouping of the result like aging analysis, analytical, etc. These are the drop down buttons so that you can go to individual reports. On the right hand side you can see these are the tabs from where you can download all the reports to Excel format. This is the overview where report name is given, detailed report name is given. So this is the group name and this is the report name. You can go directly to report by clicking this overview button. You can download this to Excel from here also, and you can go back to opening page, and this is the count given over here, how many pass, how many fail, number of records check, etc. You can see the execution time is very fast, only 26 seconds required to check all 906 ledger for this company, and there are 2480 vouchers, so you can cross tally. In tally statistical data you can see there are 906 ledgers. There are total 2484 vouchers, out of which 4 are cancelled, so total vouchers checked by Ledger Vision is 2480. Let us start with the reports. The first report is keyword search. You can use keyword and search the reports required. For example, any expenditure of personal nature or prior period items. And whatever the word you type here, let's see, first word is say bill. So software asks search category, ask for search category. What are the search categories? You can search the word bill for in ledgers or ledger groups or in narration or all over. So normally we select all, and when this is the scrutiny period, whatever we have selected, you can change it as per your requirement. And when I press submit button, I will get details of all transaction wherever bill word is used. So this is helpful. This is simply like Control F button in Excel. Thereafter we will jump to aging analysis. This aging analysis is done on FIFO method. So it is based on FIFO method. This is the creditors aging analysis. You can see this is the list of all creditors, their closing balances, whether it is in credit or debit. This is the total of closing, this is the amount of closing balance, and these are the buckets like 0 to 30, 30 to 60, etc. Up to 180 is there, and then more than 180 is the last bucket. And in addition to this, we are given the voucher details also. So you can see these are the creditors, these are the closing balance nature, whether it is in credit and debit, and this is the bucket. So if you filter out, say, if you want to find out the vouchers which are not paid for more than 180 days, then you will get the detail like voucher number, voucher date and amount. This will helpful. You can reverse the input credit required by rule 37 of GST rules. Same idea is used for debtors. It is also based on FIFO method. This is also helpful in case of company audit. While presenting in balance sheet, you have to give details about debtors or creditors which are outstanding more than 6 months or less than 6 months. So this will be helpful. Next group of report is analytical reports. This is the drop down. First report is account squared off. Now this is the list of ledgers from debtors and creditors, and this is the list showing the account squared off during the year. This is the amount by which the account is squared off. Second report is asset addition and deletion. So this is the details like voucher number, date, amount. If at all narration is given in the entry, narration will appear. This is the number of days, that is in case of addition, the number of days after addition, and in case of deletion, number of days till the date of deletion. So this will be helpful for calculating the depreciation, whether to use full rate of depreciation or half rate of depreciation. If at all bill wise accounting is there, then bill wise details are given, which are the bills which are partly open, fully open, etc. is given here. This report is creditors with income and sales entries. This report is creditors with receipt. Creditors with no purchases. So these are the creditors where no purchases transactions are there. Debtors, so these are the debtors, purchases are taken place. Debtors with no sale, debtors with payment, expenditure comparison report is given here. So monthly expenditure as compared and shown over here. You can download this to Excel and use percentage etc. in Excel format. Expenses with no creditors. So these are the expenditure where creditors are not there. Ledgers other than creditors are used. Expenditure with receipts. So these are the expenditure ledgers, but voucher type receipt is used. This is the details. This is the list where depreciation entries are there. There is a threshold limit which you can configure at generic configuration. If at all rounding off or discount crosses the threshold limit, then that list will appear over here. Income comparison statement, income with no debtors, income with payments, mapping error. Now there is no mapping error here because mapping error means if you forgot something or you skip something while configuring the Tally company, the missing details are shown in this report, so that you can revisit the configuration page and make the required changes. No transaction report is there, so these are the debtors or creditors having closing balance equal to opening balance and no transaction taken place during the year. So opening and closing balance is same and zero transactions are there throughout the period, so the result name is no transaction. And these are the unused Tally ledgers. If you want to delete the unused ledgers from Tally, this is the shortcut. You have to go to Gateway of Tally to display, then list of accounts, then you have to press F5 and select ledgers and delete the whatever selected ledgers will be deleted. Next report is cash reports. These are the details of cash deposited in bank account, cash deposited in OD or CC account. These are the details. If at all withdrawals from bank are there, withdrawals from OD, CC are there. But most significant report is this one. As per amendments in section 44AB, if total cash receipts are more than 5% of total receipts, or if total cash payments are more than 5% of total payments, then though the assessee is not subject to tax audit because his turnover is below the threshold limit of tax audit, but if he violates these provisions, then he is liable to tax audit. In a way, this is a very important report. Wherever there is a negative bank, the dates in which the bank is in credit are given here. So these are the period. So you can see, you can go to Tally and check whether why these banks are in credit. You can see that correct BRS is there or not. If at all cash is in credit, then that report will be available over here. Then there are some data check reports are given, like this is the list of debtors and creditors where either GST or PAN is missing. So this is very important from point of view of GST audit. Without GST or PAN number, you cannot have two-way reconciliation. So this is very important. Then duplicate GST number report is there. In many cases, you can see there are same GST number used for more than one ledger. So that list is given. This hampers two-way reconciliation correctness. So you have to update these details by informing the accountant. Then duplicate PAN is there. Duplicate vouchers. Duplicate vouchers means same amount, same duration, same party and same date. Or there can be different dates, but same amount, same party, same date, same party is very important. Software is trained to read narrations, and in generic configuration there are keywords given. You can add those keywords, you can delete the keywords. Keyword means name of the assets are given. So you can see there is a threshold also given. Depending upon your audit materiality, you can change the threshold. In this case, expenditure below 5,000 is permissible to be treated as revenue. If at all the amount is more than 5,000, it should be capitalized. So narration is Fire TV stick. The keyword picked by software is TV. Amount is more than 5,000, and no fixed asset ledger is there. So it is purchase ledgers with purchase group. So software is asking, this is a probable query, verify whether this is purchase of assets. Similarly, you can see the rack word is found by software. Amount is more than 5,000, and contract charges is the revenue income. It is not a fixed asset ledger, it is a revenue income ledger. So it is a sales account basically. So software is asking verify whether it is sale of asset. Then in some cases where the accounting is done in-house, If at all there are mistakes in ledgers, ledger names, group names, so default word dictionary is used. So wherever the English spelling mistakes are there, they are listed. You can ignore these Indian spellings like Diwali, Swachh, etc. Or you can ignore the names also. These are the creditor entries. As per basic accounting principle, there should not be credit entry to creditor other than cash, bank, OD, CC or TDS. So if at all any other entries there at the credit of creditor, that means if there are adjustment entries, all those adjustment entries will be listed over here. Similarly, all adjustment entries are listed in debtors. Next group of report is GST scrutiny report. First report is GST result. So this is the scrutiny report. You can see here software scrutinizes all the vouchers wherever GST ledgers are involved, and wherever there are mistakes as to rate, amount, applicability of GST, all are listed. You can see over here GST posted for CGST is 27,500 and SGST is 22,500. So it is a mistake. You can see short GST is posted. GST ledger used 9%. IGST posted, which is 5886, but actually it should be 8829. So there are many permutation combinations are possible, like both CGST ledgers use, both SGST use, one SGST, one IGST is used, or IGST applicable then but CGST, SGST posted, or vice versa. Or if stock atom wise accounting is there, then the rate mentioned in tally for stock account say it is 28% and actual entry is passed for 18%. Or in case of purchases, output entry is there, or in case of sales, input entry is there. So all these kinds of error are captured by Ledger Vision and listed in scrutiny report. User are advised to go through these reports on monthly basis so that your monthly returns will be correctly. Next report in GST scrutiny result is party-wise GST summary. So this is the report table. You can see there are groups, ledgers, whether GST is applicable or not, GST rate, etc. So if you select GST, you will get all the parties where GST is applicable. Now you can see the cash is as a party. So there are debtors, there are creditors, and if there are direct cash payment, direct bank payment, direct ODCC payment, or direct cash receipt, bank receipt, or ODCC receipts. So in this case, cash, bank and OD is also treated as a party. And this is the rates. This column shows the rates of the GST. This amount shows income or expenditure. And these are input or output, CGST, SGST and IGST is segregated. So you can select any particular party also. So if I select this party, basic guitar, this is a creditor. Now you can see this is the amount of expenditure. So these are the purchases or expenditure. And this is the GST rate, input at 9%, this is SGST at 9%. Similarly, this is CGST at 14%, this is SGST at 14%. Next report is expenditure wise GST summary. And so here the list of all ledgers from P&L account is there, and fixed assets ledgers are also there. Ledger group is there, ledger name is there, GST rate, amount of expenditure or amount of that ledger is there. Then whether it is input or output and whether it is CGST, SGST, the segregation is done accordingly. Now this is very important report from the point of view of filing of GSTR 9 and 9C. You can download this report by clicking this button to Excel. And after downloading it to Excel, you can add two columns over here. GSTR 9 requires you to give details about total GST on services, GST on capital goods and GST on normal goods. So by adding a column, this ready-made segregation is available to you. You have to just read the nomenclature and write whether it is service or capital goods or goods. And when you finish with the list, use pivot table and you will get ready-made data as required by 9. Similarly, in case of 9C, in tab number 14, there are 10 headings, simple headings are there like purchases, freight, capital goods, stationery, etc. And I am having hundreds of ledgers over here. So what is the idea to segregate this data? You read the nomenclature and write the matching heading from tab number 14 and go on adding the names. When you use pivot table, all these hundreds of ledgers will be segregated in those 10 headings. Last report in GST scrutiny. Actually, it is not a scrutiny report, it is a table based on whatever configuration we have done previously. It shows you monthly output liability of RCM. So you can check the RCM entries with the help of this table. You can compare the amount shown in this table on monthly basis with the entries. There are 2-3 kind of accounting treatments. In one style, user creates control ledgers in Tally and passes entry of payment of output liability and credit of that output liability. In other case, users work it on RCM details, they work it on Excel and they just pass on final entry. So to check whether that has been done correctly or not, you can use this monthly GST report. Next set of report is additional scrutiny report. Now what is additional scrutiny? So if there are any basic accounting principles mistakes are there in capital, then that report will be shown over here. In case of deposits, then now in this company these kind of mistakes are not there. You can see that there are many failed entries in status. Why they are shown as fail? You can see interest receivable entries are checked as investment is not maturing in the scrutiny period. So 3 interest entries found and 0 interest receivable entries were found. Interest amount is 4,500. So they have received the amount, but they have not posted the interest receivable under income side of the P&L account. That's why there is a difference in closing and opening account. So software is asking to explain why this difference is there. This difference is because of they have received the amount, but they have not posted it to income side. Similarly, there is recurring deposit account. Only 3 payment entries are found instead of 12. So that's why software is saying that this is the failure of accounting. You have to either they have paid the amount but not posted, or they have not paid entirely. Similarly, there are loans and advances. You can see there are many accounting principle mistakes are there, or if at all there is now you can see advance to director as per section 185 of Companies Act 2013, loan to director is not allowed. So if the advance to director is having credit balance, it will be captured by the software. Now you can see that this is the advance to Hari. Amount is 36,000, which is in debit from 1st May. So it is more than 300 days. So that's why software is saying do something. Nothing has been posted against it. So that has been listed. In case of loans and liability, so if there are 12 EMI entries found or 12 interest entries are found, it is termed as pass. Now in this case, though 10 EMI entries and 10 interest entries are found and that this loan is closed, it is termed as fail because in the month of July no EMI entry is there. So it is shown under fail status. Opening and closing balance is not matching. So now this is unsecured loan, check interim debit balance. You can see the opening balance is 3 lakh rupees, but closing balance is in debit. It is in 16,000 rupees. So the closing balance of unsecured loan should not be in debit. So this kind of accounting principle mistakes are captured by the ledger vision. This is provision and prepaid list. So you can decide the frequency of provision prepaid entries, either it is monthly, quarterly, 6 monthly or yearly. So if you are going for yearly audit, you have to check the entry posted in the month of March. So if the amount is 0, this means the entries are pending. So before finalizing the tally company, you have to pass these prepaid and provision pending entries for the month of March. If at all anything is pending in suspense account, then those entries will appear over here. Next set of report is tax audit data. These are the cash section. This is a tabular format. Wherever there is a violation of cash limits. Now these are the section limits of cash expenditure or cash receipts. This is 40A3 section and 10,000 is the limit, and amount paid in a single day to a person is 22,000. So in case of transport, the threshold limit is 35,000, and then again 269T is there. So where deposit is received more than 20,000, amount is received in cash, so it is shown under 269 SS. So this kind of table details are given in this table. This is the another report for probable unsecured loans. you can see that these are the debtors and creditors where only receipt and payment entries are there. So no JV, no purchase, no sales entries are there. There is a normal tendency of clients, they hide their money lending activities under debtors and creditors, and it is responsibility of auditor to unearth those debtors, creditors, and show them under the table of 269 SS and T. So this is the list. You can go through the list, and whenever you find something suspicious, you can have further inquiry and you can put that ledger under 269 SST table. This report is related to related party transaction. Related parties are defined in income tax, company law as well, GST also. So now reporting requirement under tax audit is you have to report the payment or expenditure to related parties. So these are the groups, these are the ledgers, and payment or expenditure entries are shown over here. So if at all payment voucher type is payment, then to which ledger it is paid and from which bank, cash, ODCC is paid, the party and the expenditure ledger. So name of the party and a bank or cash name is shown over here. And if purchases or any expenditure is affected, then the name of the party and expenditure ledger is shown. Relation and nature of the transaction, auditor has to fill these details because there is no option in Tally from where the ledger vision can capture these details, and all other details like voucher number, date and amount is shown over here. In case of statutory dues like GST, TDS, PF, ESIC, PTRC, etc. are shown. This report is based on 43B report table. I will explain only ESIC in this case. This is the month of April, and the due date falling in the month of April is 15th of April for ESIC. Now this due date is for the payment of opening balance of this month. So this is the payment due date for payment of March. The closing balance of March should be paid before 15th of April. Amount payable is 5357, and this amount is created during the month of April. Now there are two columns. One is for payment before due date and another is for payment after due date. So in this case we can see the amount is paid after due date. So details are shown over here like voucher number, amount and date and amount. So actual amount payable was 5357, but actual paid is 2486. That too 1 day. They have delayed by 1 day. So it is termed as payment after due date, and 1 month delay is considered and 1 month's interest is also calculated. So ledger vision uses respect to interest rates applicable to GST are different, TDS are different. So all respective interest rates are used by ledger vision, and if at all default continues, the cumulative interest is also calculated over here. Next table is section 26 AS and SS and T table is there. These are the party names. If GST and PAN is maintained in Tally, it will appear over here, otherwise it will be shown blank. Then what is the opening balance, what is the closing balance, whether it is squared off or not. Now in case of receipt, whether the amount is received in cash or bank or OD or by JV entry. If any interest is posted, then amount will be appearing over here. If any payment is there, whether it is paid in cash, bank or through OD or by adjusted by passing mere JV entry. And last column is important, highest closing balance during the year. So this will help you to complete the 216 SST. Last important set of report is TDS scrutiny report. So this is the scrutiny of TDS, and there are 10 instances from where TDS is captured. One is amount paid or payable to creditor, then advance paid to creditor. We have seen in many cases debtors are treated as creditor also. So only one ledger is opened which is kept under debtors, and it is treated as debtor as well as creditor. So if any amount paid to debtor and if there is a TDS applicability is there, ledger vision captures that instance also. Then direct cash payment, direct bank or OD payments are there. Then provision prepaid entries are there. Loans and advances entries are there. Interest paid to NBFC is also there. So these are the details from where it captures. You can see loan from NBFC. I will just explain how this works. If you can see, this is the voucher amount, actual TDS and calculated TDS. If you go to Tally and find out the details like NBFC, so when you go for columnar details, you will get the amount of total interest paid to NBFC is 30,000. Now, in case of NBFC, you have to pay EMI first, then you have to deduct the TDS. So, when you deduct the TDS, you have to keep it under loans and advances as receivable, and this is the entry for TDS. So, technically, if 30,000 rupees are paid, then 10% of 30,000 should be 3,000, but this amount is lesser amount. Only 2,000 is deducted as TDS. That's why software is showing that there is a less reduction of TDS is there. Next report is party-wise summary. Here parties are shown. So parties, then TDS categories are shown, TDS rates are shown, reasoning is given, what is the amount of expenditure is given, and if at all actual TDS and calculated TDS is matching, it will be shown as pass, otherwise it will be shown as fail. You can see actual calculated TDS is 3,000 as just I explained in NBFC case. And actual deducted TDS is 2,000, so it is termed as fail. And next is TDS expenditure and rate wise report. So this is very important report. The categories of TDS are given, rates of TDS are given, parties are also given, and importantly expenditure ledgers are also given, and the TDS status is also given. So you can download this report to Excel, and with the help of these filters you can have your 34A table also.